My name's Jacqueline Hedge. I am a creative at Analog Folk.
My name's Gracie Hawes. I'm a creative at Analog Folk.
The problem that we wanted to tackle, or that Nike came to us and that they wanted to tackle, was the fact that 55% of young girls in Milan, so in early teen years, weren't moving. They weren't involved in sport at all, which is really a symptom of the sporting culture in Italy. It's not very welcoming towards women in general, and girls are brought up in this culture thinking that sports isn't for them. And Nike wanted to tackle this and show that sports is for everyone. It's something that absolutely anyone can do, and in particular, it's something that young girls can get involved with and enjoy and be a part of themselves.
So then the brief to us at Analog Folk was how can we get 150,000 young women active by 2020? So active being signed up to, and regularly using fitness apps and using Nike events and classes to do those traditional sports that may have kind of kept them out before in the past. The way we tackled the problem, we devised 3 TikTok challenges using real sporting moves. So we had the basketball challenge, the football challenge, and boxing challenge. And each one of them using real moves from sports, real legitimate skills, and turning them into dance routines that were super infectious, super fun, and made it really easy for girls who may not do sports previously to give them a go. I think TikTok actually was a real catalyst for us with this because, in our brief and in our kind of background research of the problem, it seemed that women weren't moving, or young women weren't moving in Milan. And actually, what we found by doing some research was that they were moving. It just wasn't in a way that we had anticipated. So TikTok was really on the uptake. It was incredibly popular with young women in our market, specifically to do dance routines. So they were loving the app and using it to do dance routines to music, and it was super popular, and they were loving to move. And it just wasn't in the way that we had anticipated at all. And we thought that was super interesting, that actually on their terms, girls were moving. And is there a way that we could use that to kind of trigger a new way to take on the sports that perhaps didn't seem open to them or that they felt uncomfortable doing? What we decided to do was to work with athletes and TikTokers together to take real skills from real sports, 3 sports being basketball, football, and boxing, and to devise those into routines to music. So all of the routines are very much grounded in sport. They're all, legitimate moves, I guess, from the sports, and we worked with athletes to kind of craft something that felt a good balance between sporting through and through, but also really fun and really energetic and catchy, so that they would be super excited to get on board and give them a go, and that they would feel comfortable and really exciting.
The girls that we chose were women or young girls who weren't really into sport in their current activities, but they were doing dance challenges on TikTok and getting a certain level of recognition and success from doing that. And we chose them so that we could then teach them these challenges. So whether that was shadow boxing for boxing, doing a footwork drill challenge for football, or similarly doing a dribble sequence for basketball, and challenge them to do this so that our audience can then see themselves reflected in the girls that they were watching and could identify with that. So it wasn't just picking up a TikTok challenge from a girl who was so very clearly already quite skilled in basketball. Like, this was someone who was clearly, from the history of following them, you could see that they were a beginner who was trying something new and was in that story along with our audience of just daring to try something in their bedroom. And hey, look, it was really fun. And it was like, I had a good time. And now I have a limited amount of skill that can then maybe help me go out and can give me the confidence to maybe go out into a basketball court or feel more confident kicking a football around the street and not feeling like you could be embarrassed by it because you've done a dance challenge, you've spent the hours putting in that time for footwork. So yeah, why not go kick a football around, just like these women were doing in our challenges. Like, especially with TikTok and the fact that it's something that kids do in their bedrooms and like they just mess around by themselves at home, where in a place where they feel comfortable. And I think that's one of the key things when it comes to getting to something new. And why there's a massive barrier for women in sports as well, like especially as you start to get older and in those teen years where, you know, you're fed this need for perfection, and that you need to like look good, or like you'll be embarrassed if, you know, you do something wrong or you mess up, which is, you know, it's part and parcel of trying something new. Like, you are going to look a little bit silly sometimes, and you will like, you know, you will mess up, you'll trip over the ball, or like, you know, you'll get covered in mud occasionally, which is just all the things which is kind of the antithesis of what teenage girls are told that they need to kind of, you know, aspire to. So trying to take advantage of the challenge of being in a place where they feel comfortable to be themselves and to not have judgment placed on them, and they can dictate what they put out there into the world and take advantage of the community that is online, was really, really helpful for us. Yeah, whilst we had a trainer that we worked with to come up with the routines that we would eventually teach these influencers, they also had time with the athletes to hone those skills a little bit, and we shot some videos of them as well on that time, spending time with these professional athletes. And it was really heartwarming to see these girls spend time with these incredible women. And just get some insights into how they play their sports, and sharing their skills with these girls who had not really had any previous experience with the sports that they were doing. The challenges that were eventually posted out on TikTok were under the Nike hashtag of the Italian version of Stop at Nothing. So this was all linked to the overarching campaign that came from the Above the Line from Wyden and Kennedy, of the Stop at Nothing campaign that they did the anthemic TV for. And this was a part of it, of the practical side of getting girls to move. Yeah, alongside that kind of broadcast of telling girls like, yeah, come on, let's do it. This was very much getting in there at the nitty-gritty, at kind of grassroots level, and a practical way of getting people involved in this campaign.
Incredibly, the TikTok challenges in total had over 100 million views and 540,000 likes. And we have 46,000 women taking up the challenges and showing off their skills in basketball and football and boxing, which is incredible. It was amazing to log onto the hashtag challenge page on the first day and see people so excited to see our TikTok ads that have gone out that have told them, accept our challenge, take up the sports, following their favourite TikTokers and copying their moves. Girls who may never have picked up a ball before, actually feeling that this is giving them a way to have a go at these sports. The campaign in total, so obviously the TikTok activation was one part of the broader Stop at Nothing campaign. There was 250 plus articles written about the campaign, and you know, we are getting in Sky Sports and in national newspapers, which was incredible when we go back to you know, what we were seeing previously with the way that female athletes were looked at in magazines and, you know, interviewed on the basis of perhaps fashion and lifestyle. Now we're starting to see performance discussions in national press. So, you know, what was really fab about this was, you know, we were not just trying to get those young women giving sports a go, but for them to share it outwards and then to have that ripple effect, showing the rest of Milan and the rest of the country even the way that young women are now looking at sports and, you know, embracing sports and giving them a go, so that we can start to get this ripple effect going and we can really create bigger change from those young women on the TikTok platform, kind of kicking things off and sharing their movement with others.